What's up, everybody? It's your boy Season. So today we got a little bit of a different type of video today. You guys remember in the Blue Frame second revised review that I had a problem with the loose joints on the knees. And so I had a commenter ask me if I had tried the Kiki loose joints fix. So we're going to be taking a look at that today among some other things. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go. So generally when it comes to fixing loose joints, I've always used the one on the left. So this used to be called Future Floor Polish, but now this is called Pledge Floor Care. Now I've had this for probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 years, probably even longer than that. And I almost hardly ever use this because I rarely have a problem with loose joints unless the figure is used. Usually if the figure is used, that's when I have a problem with loose joints. And this has generally always worked for me, the Pledge Floor Care, which is what they call it. The reason why I like this stuff, you can use this on models and metal builds, but the reason why I like this stuff is because it does not damage the plastic or the metallic finish whatsoever. Pretty much it will come off with water. And really a lot of times when it comes to loose joints, I'm really only trying to like thicken up the joint so it will have a little bit of friction there. And this has always worked for me. So I don't know, because I have not seen this in quite some time on any of the shelves. This might be something that you can only get online now. I'm not so sure. But this is normally what I use, but I'm not going to use that this time. A commenter in, I think, the Blue Frame video told me about this stuff. And I guess this is called Kiki. And you can get this stuff on Amazon, and it fixes loose joints. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to apply this to the Blue Frame since he had very weak knees. And we're going to see how this works. So if you guys remember correctly that I was having problems with the knees with the Blue Frame here. And so this was very, very weak. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to fix this. Now what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to take off the armor pieces. Now both of his knees were bad, but one is worse than the other, but as you can see, they both are kind of not very strong. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take off the armor and see what we can do here. All right, so now that we have his front armor pieces off, we want to see where this is having a problem. And what I've noticed is it's right here at the hinge. And I don't even know if you can see that. Let's see. But there is a part right in here. I don't have my pry tool around, but there's a part right in here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the liquids and we're going to put it right in between that joint. We're going to move it so it can kind of coat that joint in there, and it's right on the hinge. And we're going to see if that works. And it looks like for this one, it's the exact same place. So we're going to do that. And I don't think this will be that difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this stuff here, pull off the cap. Now you do have a needle here just in case this part dries up. So that needle is in order to kind of make a new hole there. So what we're going to do, all right, we're going to see if I can get some of this applicator in there. And what we're going to do is we are going to place right in that joint. And actually, I don't think this has even been opened yet. Let's see. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take that and put that right in that joint there. And so you've got that little white part there. That is the solution. And we'll kind of work that in as much as we can to kind of get that to coat that inside of that joint there. So we've got that. And then we're going to do the same on this side and put this joint in here. All right, so we've got that on there. And we're going to kind of work that in as well. And then normally it says that you want to let this sit for at least 3 hours before you start messing with the joint. And for heavier figures like this, you want to wait 24 hours. And that's normally how long I would usually use before they dry. So I will set these aside and we're going to come back in a couple of hours because we should be able to see a difference in relatively an hour or so. So we'll come back and we'll see if it works. So here it's been about 3 or 4 hours that I haven't touched it. And so we want to see if the joints have stiffened up a little bit. So let's go ahead and take this. And then this knee was probably the worst of the two. And as you can see, it's stiff. That's what we want. And so you can bend it still. So it still works, but it will hold its own. So that is great. Let's take a look at the other one since we did both of them. So you have this one. And you remember that would just flop around. Now it's stiff, so we like that. So it's giving it a little bit of resistance, so you can still move it. No discoloration anywhere at all. So looks really, really good. So it looks like we were able to fix it. Now, of course, the real test is going to be that chromed Mazen Kaiser, but I won't do that in this video, but I just wanted to show you guys how this works. And so we'll go ahead and put his armor back on. All right, so there we have him, and no problems. Now, of course, a lot of times what you'll find is that it's the joint on the hips that have the problem, but with mine, that was not the case. It was the knees itself. But as you can see, he can stand upright. We can go ahead and put all this stuff that we had on him originally back on. So let's go ahead and put this on here. And we can put on the two knife holders there. And we'll do this one for this side as well. So we've got that, and then we'll go ahead and put this on the back. Boom. And as you can see, he does not really have any problem standing. Now, of course, I don't really like his feet all that much, but we're kind of used to that with some metal builds. So, but it's not wanting to fall back because of his knees anyway. So now it's just mainly his feet. All right, so there we have it. So he's all together now, so he won't have any problems as far as his knees are concerned. Of course, I will let him cure for another 12 hours or so. You can put a second coat on there if you deem it necessary, but for mine, I think that one coat should do the trick. So now let's get to final thoughts. So last thoughts on this Kiki fixed loose joints solution. So I will say that I think that this is a very good option if you are someone who has problems with loose joints, whether it's on a metal build or a metal composite, or even a model kit. I think that this would work for you. It's pretty easy to apply. And to be honest, I didn't have to wait that long to see the results. I waited maybe about 2 or 3 hours where I didn't touch it. And I'll continue to let this sit for the rest of the night to make sure that it works properly. But I think that this is a really good solution. I will say I found this on Amazon, and I think it was about $10 to $15. Of course, I've had it for a couple of weeks. I just hadn't got a chance to get to it. So I know that I've been MIA the last couple of weeks, but that was just due to a family issue. We had a death in the family, and so therefore I really have not been motivated to do videos recently. But as we start to get back into this, I appreciate your patience, and we will start getting back to the reviews as normal. So that's what I've got for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you could like, comment, subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. Send this one out to all of the Metal Build fans, all of the Metal Composite and Model Kit fans, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.